The next batch of Dragon Ball Daima episodes are going to give the old school Dragon Ball fans exactly what they want. Some fun, over-the-top action, Goku eating some Demon Realm hamburgers, and flying a spaceship out of a giant fish's ass.
Powerful Nerdcast assembled!
Stay dandy, baby. Hello my friends, I'm the Ace Guru, and welcome to my review of episodes 2 and 3 of Dragon Ball Daima. I'm going to be reviewing episode 2 along with 3 because I didn't have an opportunity to do it when it was released because I've been really busy. I've also been playing a lot of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I've been getting my ass completely handed to me online, but at least I'm a B ranker. As I said, there is a potential that I might make a video on that later, but we're here to talk about Dragon Ball Daima, a show that seems to be dividing the entire fan base. I've been scouring the internet, hearing people's opinions, watching videos, and you either really love this or you hate it. So far, I have to say that I'm still really enjoying Dragon Ball Daima. To me, it's basically Dragon Ball GT, if it didn't suck. And while I might have just pissed off a lot of people, just remember, it's my opinion, yours may differ, and I'd love to hear all of those in the comments section below. All of your thoughts about episode 2 and 3 of Dragon Ball Daima, which does a really great job of building up the lore of the Demon Realm. It looks like we're going to be spending a lot of time in this brand new mysterious location, and these episodes do a great job of building it up. Episode 2 in particular deals with the repercussions of Goku and all of his friends transforming into children versions of themselves, and the younger children turning quite literally into frickin' babies. And I gotta say, it was really fun seeing some of my favorite characters transformed into children, and some of them were actually kind of surprising. Like, I didn't expect that Majin Buu was just gonna turn into like a smaller version of his Fat Buu form, but it looks really funny. It is also interesting to mention that Master Roshi himself is completely bald, whereas in the past of Dragon Ball, when we saw flashbacks, he did indeed have hair, but whatever, he still looks pretty cool. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Mr. Popo. He actually has horns under his turban, which is kind of interesting. And his blank expressions still continue to haunt my dreams. But episode 2 brought up some pretty interesting points about the series. First and foremost, apparently Shenron can just make his declaration on whether someone can get multiple wishes or not. If they're a regular user, they can get the typical 3, but Gomah tries to make his other 2 wishes and he's completely denied simply because Shenron just says he's a first-time user. Again, I'm not too worried about this stuff because the fact of the matter is the lore and the tenacity of everything that happens in Dragon Ball gets played with all the time. It's very bendable. But essentially this episode deals with Goku and his friends having to deal with the fact that they're now in child bodies, which makes it really hard for them to control all of their abilities. They can't even like fly anymore. Most of this is actually played for laughs, but luckily they're going to have a little bit of time to actually train their brand new bodies, as Bulma is going to be working directly with Kibito and Supreme Kai with some mysterious spaceship that they conveniently had, which is going to allow them to go to the Demon Realm. However, before the end of this episode, they are visited by this brand new mysterious character who goes by the name of Glorio. Now, this guy is obviously going to be one of the big brand new characters for Daima, as he's been shown in all of the preview material, he's in the intro, and basically he's going to be sort of like the liaison for Goku and all of his friends as they make their way through the Demon Realm. He's also incredibly mysterious and might be up to something that we don't quite know what that is yet. He is candidate for potentially being a surprise villain, although I have a feeling he's probably just going to end up being a brand new ally for Goku and his friends. But essentially he arrives in his very tiny spaceship and he's able to bring Goku and little Supreme Kai along with him as they make their way to the Demon Realm. All of that is essentially episode 2, and again, there are some other little details in here that I think are pretty important, like the fact that Piccolo seems to be pretty well versed in the Demon Realm, what it is, and he even seems to be familiar with the mysterious Namek Neva. This actually makes sense to me, as Piccolo himself is a reincarnation of Demon King Piccolo, not to mention he is actually fused with Nail and Kami, so he does inherit a lot of their memories, and they probably inherited a little bit of the history of the Nameks themselves, thus how he actually knows about Neva. I'm still convinced, however, that Neva is probably going to end up being one of the main villains of this entire series, but who knows? Maybe they could make Gomah threatening. I also really like the fact that Goku is able to get his Nyoibo, or the power pole, back, and hilariously enough, he tries to go see Korin to actually get it back, because typically that's where it is as they make their way up to Kami's lookout when it extends, but actually it belongs to Roshi now, who's straight up just using it to hang laundry. This is such an Akira Toriyama joke. But ultimately, I really enjoyed this episode of Dragon Ball Daima. I thought that episode 2 was really great as it begins to expand the lore of the demon world, and we're going to get even more of that in episode 3. But if I were to give a score to, say, episode 2, like out of a 5, I think it's a solid 3. Didn't exactly blow me away, but was still entertaining the entire time. And as I said before, and I know I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this, it's still better than GT. I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the intro. It's poppy, it's fun, it introduces a lot of the new characters, we get to see a lot of the new locations. We even get to get a shot of Deborah's father, Abora, who basically just looks like a big fat Italian version of Deborah. I think that's pretty funny. But episode 3 is where the adventure begins proper, as Goku, Supreme Kai, and Glorio make their way to the Demon Realm. And again, they bring back those giant fish, which actually go by the name of Warp. They are essentially the beings which allow people to enter and exit the Demon Realm itself, which apparently is composed of 3 distinct worlds. 1, 2, and 3. Glorio himself happens to be from the 3rd demon world, but he also happens to work in the 1st demon world. This was actually shown in the first episode of the series, as he was mysteriously watching both Gomah and Degasu as they began their plan to take those Dragon Balls. But again, a lot of the humor is played up again here, as they're just absolutely stupefied by this giant fish. They go inside of it, they spin around, they get super dizzy, and hilariously enough, they get swallowed by this fish, and they end up coming out of its, well, its ass. Not long after this, we're also given a fart joke, so this sort of lets you know the sort of humor that you're going to get from Dragon Ball Daima. It's pretty lowbrow, but very typical for Dragon Ball. In episode 3 is our proper introduction to the 3rd world of the Demon Realm, which is very similar to Earth in many senses, but it has different flora and fauna, not to mention a lot of these giant floating islands, which are filled with these huge bulbous volcanoes, which are constantly exploding. We also get to learn that the actual atmosphere itself is made up of this very dense gas, which actually makes it hard for Goku and his friends to actually maneuver in this brand new environment. Not only did he have to get used to his brand new childlike form, but he's gonna have to learn to fight in a brand new environment. Again, I really like this. It makes this world feel alien and new. This isn't just like the gravity effect that we saw before, it's a brand new environment itself. I even love that they bring up some of the rules of how these 3 demon worlds work, how they're all sort of separated by these massive light barriers, with most people seeming to live in the 3rd demon world, a little bit of mystery surrounding the 2nd one, and the 1st one which is basically meant for royalty, like people like Deborah and his father Abora. We're also introduced to a few of the denizens of this world, as Glorio takes Goku and Supreme Kai to this random town to find a hotel for the night. They go in there, they cause a little bit of trouble, and then they end up getting some food at a local bar, which of course catches the attention of a lot of the people who stay in this town. And they're just a bunch of weird mixture of crazy looking demon characters. But everybody seems to be very wary of Glorio and his brand new friends, in particular of Goku, because he's got round ears. He's clearly not from the Demon Realm, and everybody seems to want to pick a fight with him. And as history would show it, if you pick a fight with Goku, prepare to get your balls smashed. This scene made me happy, because of course when I'm watching Dragon Ball, I'm just begging for any sort of action. And while it's not the greatest thing that I've seen from the series, it certainly brought back memories of watching the original Dragon Ball anime series. It's also a great excuse for Goku to get his body used to this brand new environment as he beats the crap out of all of these thugs, while also eating Demon Realm hamburgers all at the same time. However, these demons aren't too thrilled about Goku beating the shit out of them, so they decide to take Glorio's ship away from him, basically effectively taking their means of transportation in the Demon Realm away. Looks like the next episode is going to be all about them having to get that back, while possibly meeting some brand new friends and allies along the way, bringing an end to episode 3. And I'm still really liking this. First off, I know that there's going to be a lot of Dragon Ball fans who are just not going to like Dragon Ball Daima. I have seen so many videos on YouTube of people just absolutely shitting on this series. They just really want their continuation of Dragon Ball Super and all that action, and I definitely want that too. But for everything that we're actually getting here, I am tremendously enjoying it. And a lot of that is owed to the brand new place itself, the Demon Realm, which is just a lot of fun to actually see, and the fact that they're actually taking their time to explain what this entire dimension is all about. And the fact that the Demon Realm itself is actually split up into 3 completely different worlds gives me a lot of excitement for how our characters are actually going to end up exploring it, especially now that our main characters have actually been separated from one another. We do see that Glorio, Goku, and Supreme Kai are the ones who have actually made it to the Demon Realm first, but the implication, of course, is that Vegeta, Bulma, Piccolo, and a few others might actually be joining them a little bit later on, and I can't wait to see that actually take place, because for all we know, they might end up in a completely different world. They could be going to 2, they could be going to 1, they might be separated from Goku and his friends for quite some time, and I think this is a great opportunity to see these various groups go on different adventures in this brand new location. I'm very excited for all of that stuff, but really, these 2 episodes just highlight one of the best things about Dragon Ball Daima, which is its ability to create a brand new location. Again, they're tapping into something that we've never seen from the Dragon Ball world itself, the Demon Realm, and it really makes me wish that we could go around to all of these other universes that were introduced in Dragon Ball Super and kind of get the same treatment for them, because the world of Dragon Ball, the universe of Dragon Ball, is so vast and wide, and this just shows right here how fun it truly can be when they take the time to build it up. The stakes have also been slightly raised as well. It's not just Goku and his friends trying to get their original bodies back, but Dende has also been kidnapped by Gomah and Degasu, and I'm not sure what their ultimate plan with him is going to be, but it almost certainly involves the Dragon Balls in some senses. I also like that they also cleared up the fact that Neva cannot just continuously restore the Dragon Balls. It is a crazy technique, and for him to be able to do that over and over would just be completely broken, so I'm really glad that they actually addressed that. They seem to be answering a lot of my questions as I continue to watch the show. I mean, every single time an episode comes out, I'm like, how does that work? And the next episode rolls around, and they completely explain all of it. So far, the series has been a perfect mixture of both comedy, action, and adventure, which ultimately, I think are the 3 most important things about Dragon Ball at the end of the day. I'm sure we're eventually going to get those moments where we're going to get some jaw-dropping action, but for what we're getting right now, just an adventure through the Demon Realm, I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see ultimately where it is going to head. Dragon Ball Daima is not going to be for everyone. It's not going to be for every Dragon Ball fan because a lot of people like it for different reasons. Some people like it exclusively just for the action itself, some people like it for the character arcs and the growth of the characters, and some people just like some ridiculous old school Akira Toriyama styled writing. And this one has a little bit of everything, and I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much. But I don't blame you if you're not actually really digging on Daima quite yet. It's still very early on, and there's a chance that it could go through some big changes as we make our way through this wacky adventure through the Demon Realm. So, yes, I'm still continuing to enjoy the hell out of this brand new Dragon Ball anime, and I cannot wait to see what is going to be next. However, I would love to hear your thoughts about both of these episodes in the comment section below. Are you digging Dragon Ball Daima? Do you like the direction that it's actually going in? What about the new implications of lore and the brand new things that are introduced? And what are your predictions for how this entire thing is gonna wrap up? Let's talk about all that stuff in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you all next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.